All right, this is Grace Over Guilt, episode 5, part 4. Hey, last episode I left off talking about how things in my marriage had gone from just a little push, a small sign of instability, to a full-blown shove. But before we get deeper into that, I want to take y'all back to what I believe was the real beginning of this unraveling. It was probably about a year before things started falling apart. When we first came out to Sacramento, we didn't even know we were going to stay. We just needed a place. God opened the door, or depending on who you ask, maybe it was a blessing, maybe it was a setup. Either way, we ended up renting this little unit above a grocery store. It wasn't glamorous, but it was cheap, and it was our home. At first, we paid, I think, maybe $675 a month, and by the time we left, it was up to maybe around $1,100. I thought, hey, this is a chance to save. I'm over the road, working all the time, not really there to see how the money was being managed. And yeah, I knew Angel wasn't the best with money, but I didn't complain. I told myself, she's home with the kids. Don't be the guy who's always fussing over nickels. I'll never forget missing one of our family reunions. My Aunt Lillian, she passed away about a year ago and went home to glory. She used to beg me to come. My Uncle Kendrick, Aunt Lynn, and I, we were the three musketeers. After my father died, we got closer. But I didn't go. I told her I didn't want to take from the family's money. That's how I've always thought. Protect the home first. Eventually, the landlord told us he'd have to raise the rent again, said another family would be moving in and would pay $2,000. He was kind about it. He didn't want to charge us that much, but I took it as a sign. It's time to go. I told Angela I wanted to go back to Georgia. California was just too hot. And I mean that in more ways than one. But instead of Georgia, she started looking for homes online in Sacramento. We ended up finding a community in the Plumas Lake area. The rent was going to be $2,118. I think that's what it was. And I told her flat out, the limit, we can't go over $2,100. I know what I was bringing home. Surprisingly, we got approved. But then the family living there had delayed their move. So that made us have to go back to the drawing board. Well, I remember waking up in my truck one morning, scrolling through my phone. My sister had messaged and said to me, hey, that's a beautiful house. I like that one. She was talking about the house. I was about to reply, we can't get that. That's a little bit out of our budget. But the Holy Spirit stopped me cold. He said, don't say anything. Don't you crush her dreams. If I open the door for you to walk through, I'll provide. If I don't open it, then you'll know. I held my tongue. Fast forward, we moved in, but when we did the budget and added everything up, our expenses were maybe around $5,500 a month, but we were only bringing in $5,100 a month. So like many families, we started robbing Peter to pay Paul, covering rent one month, skipping this bill the next. The problem was, my wife is used to a different lifestyle. She was used to getting whatever she wanted, whenever she wanted, back when rent was cheap. But now we had to tighten up, and that was a challenge. Then came October. We were short again. I thought we had money in the account, but she had already spent it. I had to get something for the kids, she said. And the next thing I knew, we got hit with an eviction notice. They told us we had until Friday to come up with $5,500 or we were out. I was in my truck, head in my hands, talking to God. I said, God, you told me if you open the door, you provide. Did I hear you wrong? I was crushed. I had a headache like someone was drilling through my temple with some pliers. I felt hopeless. I didn't know a soul who could lend me that much money. And let me say this. I've never taken a real sick day in my entire career. I've worked consistently, even during this whole marriage and financial storm. Maybe 2 days I asked off, and even then I wasn't sick. So here I was, faithful, working, trying, and still in a hole. That week, Monday came. Nothing. Tuesday came. Nothing. Wednesday, still nothing. I wasn't hearing God. Thursday came, and then I said to myself, ain't nobody gonna help. No help is coming. I started bracing myself to move with my kids into a motel. Y'all, I had moved all our stuff into that house by myself. We couldn't afford movers, and now I was about to lose it all. That's the end of episode 5, part 4. It's going to be two. It's going to be two with this. It's going to be part 1 and part 2. So thank you for listening.